Hi YouTube. Just wanted to give you a little update on a couple of changes I made in the 75-gallon tank. I made these changes primarily because I didn't really like the way the Blyaxa was growing in. It was really taking up too much real estate. So what I did was I planted Staurogyn repens in place of the Blyaxa, and I kind of like the effect a little bit better, especially with the hairgrass. The color of the hairgrass and the Blyaxa were too close, and they kind of blended together, and I didn't really like the way it looked. So this video is prior to me doing a little maintenance on the tank. The other thing I did was I planted some Java moss to a couple of pieces of the driftwood to give it a more aged effect. So they're growing pretty good. This is about a week post planting of the different plants, so everything's coming along pretty good. I also removed the Rotala macranda back here in the corner. It really wasn't doing that well, and I really didn't like it. There's a dead leaf on the Amazon sword I'm going to have to trim off. I think that's the last. I think there's one more original leaf that I'm going to have to trim off, but that was one of the last two that I'm going to have to trim off. So, but the new leaves coming in are really nice. The other changes I made to the tank are I planted some narrow leaf Ludwigia repens in the background here. There's a few more shoots there, so that'll grow in really nicely. I wasn't really pleased with the way the background looked. It looked a little stark and bare to me, so I wanted a little more height. So the Ludwigia I'd got from a friend, I thought I'd plant it here. I'd been growing it in another tank, and I finally had enough to plant in that section of the tank. So you can see some smaller shoots there that I planted, and then a couple of taller ones there. I did leave one Blyaxa japonica in the rear center where initially I had the Christmas moss. I thought it'd be a good spot for it. It should fill in that spot nicely. On the right hand side, I removed the Spiralis vallisneria and planted Rotala indica along the back portion of the aquarium. Again, I wanted it to fill in more and give a deeper effect to the tank, since I really don't like backgrounds on tanks, and I thought that would fill in pretty good to instead of me adding a background. Everything else is growing pretty good. I've trimmed the Hygrophila penitentiata way back. It had got a little tall and leggy, and I really wasn't liking the way it looked. So what I did was I pruned some of the taller shoots back, and here I'm training one of them onto the driftwood. As I said, they do grow on wood. I mean, they're pretty good about doing that. So this was a shoot that was coming off a taller plant that I had here. If you look at some of the previous videos, you'll be able to see that. So what I did was I simply used a tie to tie the Hygrophila to the driftwood, and hopefully it'll climb up the driftwood. There's another shoot here that is growing out as well, so eventually I'm going to tie it to the driftwood so that it'll grow along that little piece of driftwood. But I had a small mishap with the CO2 tank, so and that's another video, but it was a pretty hairy experience. Of course, fire department had to be called, and it was a pretty well odd event, to say the least. But as I said, the tank is coming along. I just wanted to give you guys a brief update of it because I really wanted to clear out that area and increase the overall appearance of it, and I felt like the Staurogyn repens would do a much better job. Now these shoots have been in here for about a week. I bought them immersed. I think I bought 20 of them, and as you can see, they're already branching out. I mean, they were really little bitty tiny things. I really felt like I had been cheated when I opened the box and saw them. But they've really started to grow, and as I said, they've only been in here a week. So of course I do use CO2 and the fertilizers, but still, that's remarkable growth to me for a week. The other thing I added to the tank was that I was really having a bad problem with flow in the tank. So what I did was I added a pump here to circulate the water, and it's doing a real good job. It might have been overkill for this tank. I think it's rated like at 850 gallons, but this is a 75-gallon tank, and I thought the flow would be a lot better for it versus two smaller ones. So I got a bigger one. It's connected with a magnet, so it's doing pretty good, and it's really eliminated a lot of the problems I was having with the blackbeard algae. So I just wanted to show you guys a couple of changes I made to the tank, and hopefully this one is set. I mean, I really like this tank as it's sitting now. So hopefully, I won't have to make any more changes, and I can just sit back and watch this one grow. But I do have a couple of other projects going, so I just want to give you guys a real quick update so that when the tank grows in, you'll be able to see the changes I made, and I'll be more than happy to film it then. But until then, guys, keep on keeping the fish, and really I want to give a shout out to the people who are watching my channel. I really appreciate it, and to some of the guys who have left comments, I really do appreciate it, and they're very helpful. And then a lot of guys, I've been asking a lot of questions about the saltwater tank I want to set up, and also a South American cichlid tank I'm going to set up. So a lot of you guys have been real generous in your responses to my questions, and I really appreciate it. So once again, guys, happy fish keeping, and thanks for watching my videos.